3:47 remaining in the first half at Miller Gymnasium in Newberg, Oregon, about 20 miles or so southwest of the Oregon epicenter of Portland, the biggest city in the state. Lewis and Clark, based in Portland, leading the visiting Concordia, Texas at Austin Tornadoes by the score of 30-24 after Christina Williams of the Lewis and Clark Pioneers buries the first of two free throws. We'll see Catherine Frost check in for the Tornadoes, as well as Pittman.
So far, you look at the rebounding statistics, an important matchup between a Concordia team that really does a great job on the boards, averaging around 39 rebounds a game, and a Lewis and Clark team with more size than Concordia overall, but Lewis and Clark leading in the boards so far, 17-13.
Lewis and Clark is ranked first in the Northwest Conference coming into this contest in rebounds per game amongst 9 Northwest Conference teams, averaging just a shade over 42 rebounds per game. Williams hits both free throws, and it's the Pioneers' largest lead of the night at 7. Lucky getting a full head of steam, but she walked before she put the ball on the ground. Will go the other way after Concordia has committed its 7th turnover of the night.
Not too bad for them, averaging almost 18 turnovers a game, right around their average. They can definitely win a game turning the ball over 20 times. They just have to force 20-plus themselves, and I don't know if Lewis and Clark is going to do that. The Pioneers only 4 turnovers on the night.
In fact, in the ASC semifinal matchup against Texas Dallas, they won that game 61-46. They committed an astronomical 31 turnovers in that contest as Neva Hauser's three-point shot rims in and out. She follows her miss. Williams, another strong rebound and hit hard. Good sportsmanship exuded there by Termika Canada of the Concordia Texas Tornadoes. But in that game, though, despite committing 31 turnovers in that game, they forced Texas Dallas into 36 turnovers themselves. So that must have not been a very delightful game to watch from an aesthetical standpoint. Williams getting ready for 2 more free throws. First attempt is up, and she gets the shooter's bounce. Anderson will check back in for the Lewis and Clark Pioneers, and Villanueva will head over towards the bench for Lewis and Clark as the Pioneers are now in the double bonus. Meanwhile, Lewis and Clark has committed 8 team fouls thus far. Williams continuing to score at a very fierce rate, now with 18 in this first half. After she gets another free throw to go. Lewis and Clark shooting well from the foul line tonight, 83%. Frost shifting for Lucky, waiting for a high pick on its way from Liddell. She spins into the lane, all the way to the glass, left it up with a little too much mustard. Anderson coming out running, lost control of the dribble as she ran into the one-woman fortified wall of Valencia McKinney. Great heads-up foot-moving defense by McKinney. She forces the turnover against the Pioneers with 3 minutes sharp to go in the first half.
Very important you make a late run here to close out within a couple points at halftime, maybe even take the lead. A lot of time left here in the first half, but down 9 points. You do not want to let that lead, that deficit, get more than double digits.
Howe doing a good job of pressuring Frost. Now she dumps it off to Pittman. Up top with the ball is McKinney. Chance of defense once more erupting from this Lewis and Clark student section. A good crowd they have on hand tonight. Now the pull-up jumper from the right side, missed by McKinney. Tipped out of bounds, last touch by either McKinney. Liddell in the area. 2:38 to go in this first half, and Lewis and Clark slowly but surely has all of a sudden built up a 9-point lead against this Tornadoes team who is like to run at times, but tonight they continue to be in pursuit of the score in about the last 7 minutes or so of this first half. Villanueva, she's done a good job with the dribble in the first half. Lost it momentarily there, but recovers. Now she'll set it up. Dowling scoping on the right side, feeding left for Williams instead. Williams tossing across to a cutting Howe. Brings it down, zips it quickly to Williams inside. Kicks it back out to Hauser for 3, and it's good! So Neva Hauser beginning to shoot well also, in addition to her fellow front court mate, Christina Williams. Hauser now with 7, shooting 4 for 8 from the field in this first half. And the Pioneers leading by double figures for the first time in this ball game. And head coach Rusty Rainbolt, who is crafting a special program only in his 2nd season at the helm for Concordia, Texas at Austin, has to call for time. Head coach Rusty Rainbolt in his 2nd season as head coach for these Tornadoes, 37-13. You can kind of compare what he's done in his second year for this Tornadoes team to what head coach Michael Meek has done for the George Fox Bruins, though credit Rusty Reinbold, though his record is not as stout as head coach Michael Meek. He has had to begin from a very much lower foundation than Coach Meek.
22-4, a great record for Concordia, and 12-1 at home this year, so a very good record on their home court. But tonight, very far from home, almost 2,200 miles away. So for those of you listening back in, we wish you could use some spirit fingers and try to feel like this Concordia team is back in their own home confines, because right now it's not working for them. Lewis and Clark is pulling away.
You can certainly tell which team had to travel a shorter distance tonight, as well as the team who's more familiar with playing on the court. And keep in mind, Lewis and Clark, this is their second consecutive NCAA Tournament appearance. They were the team that had to travel a far distance in the first round last year, heading all the way out to Coe College in Iowa. The cross-court pass, Howe looking for Neva Hauser. She's knocked down, and the foul is going to be called against, is that going to be against Singleton? That could be a costly foul if it is against Singleton. She had to sit out for a very extended length in this first half while she was out of the game. This is when Lewis and Clark was able to build up this 12-point lead, and indeed it will be the third personal foul in this first half charged against Shamika Singleton. So things not turning out on the road as head coach Rusty Reinbold had hoped.
And you don't want to put Lewis and Clark at the line right now. They are shooting excellently tonight. 12 for 14 now from the charity stripe, 86%. So for the Pioneers, they're saying, shoot, keep putting us on the line. We're going to fight to the basket and do our thing at the charity stripe.
The way this game has developed, this is exactly what the doctor ordered if you were Lewis and Clark after they shot so poorly, just 57.7% last Saturday night in this exact building. They're shooting better than 83% right now. They've got the free throw shooting right back in rhythm as they prefer.
Very, very important, especially since both teams have shot a lot of free throws tonight. So Lewis and Clark winning that battle.
Pittman feeding up top for Lucky. Looking around, Concordia buried in their largest deficit of the night, down by 14 with 90 seconds to go in the first half, and Lucky draws the foul way up high against Katie Anderson.
Not a necessary foul there. Away from the perimeter, you give the Tornadoes a chance at free points, even though the Pioneers had a chance to get a stop and go the other way. But the cheap foul there gives the Tornadoes a chance to hang in there and maybe get this one back to within single digits as we head into halftime.
Sarah Villanueva will go to replace Katie Anderson, who was charged with her second personal foul. Lucky can't hit on the free throw, and the free throw woes continue for Concordia of Texas, shooting just 6 for 11 from the free throw line compared to that of 13 for 15 by Lewis and Clark in the first half. Howe swings it up top for Villanueva. Now to Hauser, double teamed, nowhere to go. Finally she clears. Villanueva for three, and she hits once more. And that's the second three-pointer made by Lewis and Clark tonight. They're not shooting well from the three-point line, but they made up for it at the free throw line instead. Concordia now all of a sudden down by 17, 41-24. A minute to go in this first half. Parrish pulls up the dribble, throws across to Pittman. Thought about a three, but Dowling closed off well. Pittman in the middle, throws up a runner, no good. Rebound brought down by Kathleen Howe and sends it away to Villanueva. 43 seconds remaining in the first half. An impressive showing by the Lewis and Clark Pioneers in the last 9 minutes of play. Villanueva, the jump stop, passes left to Howe. 16 on the shot clock. Back to Howe. Eyes up for a three from the left side. It's an air ball, but it's like a pass right into the hands of Dowling. Misses the follow. O'Neal up the floor to the arc, all the way to the basket, left it short. Rebound brought down by Jody Snyder, the reserve guard for the Lewis and Clark team, who is in for the first time tonight, and she'll draw the foul in the backcourt by Concordia. So while the physicality worked early for this Concordia, Texas team, with the fouls piling up, it's free points now at the foul line every time down as Lewis and Clark continues to enjoy trips.
13 points for Lewis and Clark at the line tonight, only 6 for Concordia, and they're trying to add to that right now. And also you look at the overall field goal shooting mark. Lewis and Clark, as they hit that first free throw, Lewis and Clark shooting 48% on the night, 45% on the night. Concordia only 30%. So for Lewis and Clark, they're hitting the open shots, and Christina Williams with 18 first half points. She's going to get some rest at halftime and continue to try and beat it, just take it to the Tornadoes in the second half.
For Lewis and Clark, sophomore guard Jessica Rodriguez has checked in for the first time tonight. Second free throw attempt a little long, missing by Jody Snyder. Rebound brought down. Here's O'Neal of Concordia ushering the ball up the floor into the front court, around the arc, closed off by Rodriguez, feeds it left, over for Smith, stepping through, enters it down low to Liddell, turnaround off the glass, and good. So the Tornadoes, with a much-needed basket they earn, heading into the halftime break. But the last 10 minutes, it has been a period of time that Lewis and Clark has controlled well, and as a result, they will head to the locker room 42-26. It took them some time to figure out the physicality, the harassment, the heavy defensive pressure from this Concordia team, but they have come through as the leading scorer of this team is on fire in the first half. Christina Williams with 18 magnificent points.
Well, when you're nervous in the tournament, you give it to your go-to player. Christina Williams has fit the bill tonight, 18 points. She's done a great job for the Pios.
Lewis and Clark playing like a number 10 nationally ranked team right now. They lead visiting Concordia, Texas at Austin 42-26. This is the NCAA Tournament live from Newburgh, Oregon on Basketball on KFOX.